So let's get started. So today's coaching call, what I want to do is I want to uncover the difference between the truths you hear all the time and the lies that you're hearing all the time, okay? And I want to do this because you guys deserve to be informed. You guys deserve to know the right direction to go in, and you deserve to be able, as a consumer, to be able to decide to buy something or engage in something that you know is actually going to work, okay? Because I'm sure you've wasted enough money and enough time on things that you were hopeful for but that never turned out, right? So I want to give you an idea of kind of how we can discern the truth from the lies you've been told, okay? So in the comment section, guys, what I want you to do, okay? I want you to tell me one thing that you think is true about weight loss. So one thing, it could be true or false, okay? I'm gonna go over it and I'm gonna clear it up for you, so I'm not gonna judge you if it is wrong. But one thing that you think is absolutely true when it comes to weight loss. What do you think? Nutrition is 80%. You are what you eat. It takes time. Eating healthy and working out. Starts in the kitchen. Portion control. Observate the kitchen. Beautiful. So this is one thing. Beautiful. Keep going, guys. Keep going if you haven't put it in yet. So this is one thing that you are 100% certain in, right? This is something that you never ever question, okay? Whether it's right or wrong, you believe it's right and you haven't questioned it, okay? So now that you've put in that statement, I want you to think, okay, where did you first hear that? Where did you hear it from? Did you hear it from an infomercial? Did you hear it from Dr. Oz? Did you hear it from me? Did you hear it from your parents? Where did you hear that piece of information from? Okay, mom, fitness articles, best friend, my ex. Beautiful, friend, okay. So here we go, coach, no idea, that's okay, brother, doctor, cool. So guys, the reason I'm asking this is because we've failed so many times in the past, or because we're so desperate to finally feel healthy and feel confident and lose this weight, we grasp onto and we believe anything that makes sense. Anything that we think is gonna help, we believe, right? And then we start taking advice from our family, from our friends, from infomercials, from trainers who don't know what they're doing, right? We take all of this advice because we're so desperate to finally have something that works, and we believe it and we never question it. And that's what's formed your ideas and your thought processes regarding your health journey, right? You follow me so far? So here's the thing. Is there anybody in your close circle, friends, family, anybody in your close circle that you want to be? Yes or no? Put in the comments. Is there anybody in your circle that you want to be? Do you want to end up like your mother? Do you want to have the body of your best friend? You can be honest. No, not really. No, yeah, no, nope. For most of the part, no, right? So here's the funny thing. The people we believe the most and the people whose opinion matters most are usually the people who are the most underqualified to be giving you that advice. Right? Who understands what I'm saying? Let's see the hands up. Does that make sense? So who's gone to a family function before and they had somebody comment on their weight? An aunt, maybe a family friend. Who's had their weight commented on before? Like, oh, you look too skinny, you should eat something. Or you look like you've gained some weight. Either or on the spectrum. We've all had a family member comment on our weight. So much so that you probably, dread going to that one family reunion once a year where that crazy aunt is there and she's just gonna tear apart your appearance, right? We all have these people, but for some reason, their opinion matters. But if you look at them, so that person, okay, who is that person in your life that always is kind of judging you and picking you apart? Whether it's out of love or not, like who's that person that judges you the most? Let's see it in the comments. Is it mom? Is it grandma? Is it mother-in-law? Like who's the person that picks you apart the most, do you think? Family, husband, mom, aunt? Awesome, here we go, we're on a roll. Brother, grandma. So there are these people that are so close to us and we love them and we value their opinion. Does that person look the way that you want to look? Do they have the health that you want? Do they have the workout routine that you want to embody? Do they have the positive mindset that you want? Do they have any certifications, education, credentials, to act like a doctor, to act like a personal trainer? Usually no. But it's so funny, guys, because they are the ones whose opinion matters, and they are the ones that we hate disappointing the most, right? So for me, I still to this day, I don't care if my parents get mad at me. I don't care if someone else yells at me. I don't care if I make someone mad. Do you know what's like the worst feeling in the world for me? If I hear my father say, "You disappointed me." Right? Is anybody else there? Like the words, "You disappointed me." It's like a knife. It's like a knife in the heart. Oh no, I disappointed you. But like when I think about it, and now where I'm in life, why? Why do I care if I disappoint anybody? If at the end of the day, I'm happy with myself and my actions, or if I make a mistake, but I know I'm going to fix it, why do I care who I disappoint along the way? Why do I care who disagrees with me along my journey? Who can relate to this? Who is feeling this pull? Who is feeling pulled sometimes from different angles and feels guilty for being on this journey? Who feels guilt sometimes? Oh yeah, mom guilt. That's real. Wife guilt. You know, you don't have time for your significant other because you're too busy helping. Like guilt is this real thing. But ladies, you have to stop giving a shit about anybody else, because the people whose opinion you're listening to the most and the people who are most likely to throw you off are not the people that you want to emulate. So why are you giving them the power? Right? Why are you letting your aunt, who's 50 pounds overweight and miserable, make you feel bad for not eating the damn piece of cake? How does that make sense? But we let it happen. We let it happen, right? And then you get stuck in these situations where, you know, you're surrounded by these people and they're like, "Oh, just one bite. One drink won't hurt. One bite won't hurt. Oh, come on, live a little." You ever hear that? Live a little. YOLO. You only got one life, right? Those are the people who can't stick to anything. Those are the people that either consciously or subconsciously are sabotaging you because they know deep down inside that they're never actually going to achieve their goal because they don't have what it takes, because they don't want to have what it takes. And you guys do. By making the step to sign up with Fit Queen, to showing up to these coaching calls, you guys are putting the necessary steps in. But the people who we are taking with us on this journey aren't doing it. It's a very lonely journey, and you're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family. You're going to have to set a lot of boundaries. Who struggles with setting boundaries, ladies? Who struggles with boundaries? Almost every woman I know. Why? Because we live in a society that keeps us tame, that likes us quiet, that likes us shy, that if we speak our opinion, we're called bossy and bitches, right? But call me a bitch. Call me a boss. Those are compliments to me. I'm okay with that. And it was very hard to get to this point, right? Like very recently, I've just come to this revelation about my father. Like, I love him. I trust his opinion. I don't want to disappoint him. But here's the thing. Parents and family and friends only have enough wisdom to get you where they are, right? So if I listen to somebody who's 10 pounds overweight and complains and is a victim, and I take all of their advice, what do I become? I become 10 pounds overweight and a victim of my circumstance, right? Is this making sense? So the people you take advice from, the people whose opinion you take to heart, you have to remember that if you take their advice, you're going to be them. You're going to morph into them. They're going to take you to their level. But do you want to, number one, do you want to get to that level? Because that level might already be down here when you're up here. So do you want to be pulled back down? Or do you want to plateau with them? And do you want to keep going? Okay, so very, very important. I know I'm getting a lot of messages of women really struggling putting themselves first, right? Because we're taught as women, we're supposed to be nurturing and we're supposed to put everybody first, our kids, our parents, our friends, our dog. Like, we're supposed to take care of everybody and then take care of ourselves, right? I'm supposed to make sure Ryan is fed. I spend time with his parents. I spend time with my family. I walk my dog. I'm a good, all of these things, but not good to myself. And it's crazy. And so going off the point of these people can only take you to their level. It's like if me as a business owner, is anybody a business owner on this call? Or is anybody in a high position in their business? So just an example, if me as a business owner were to take advice from somebody who makes $50,000 a year, where is their advice going to take me? Where's it going to take me? Their advice will get me to $50,000 a year. Is that enough to live the lifestyle I want? No. Is it enough to impact the amount of women I want to impact? No. So even though that advice is coming from somebody I trust, somebody I love, somebody whose opinion I value, I need to be able to discern what is the right advice for me. I need to filter what I listen to. Does this make sense, ladies? Are we following this? Very, very important, because if they can only take you to their level, they won't understand what you're doing anyway. So they will never agree with you, right? If this person is a negative Nancy, they're not going to understand everything that you're doing because they only have the capacity to understand what they're doing. So it's a waste of breath and time to even try to take them along and even try to explain it to them because they are incapable of understanding it right now, right? Some people will grow once they see you grow. They rise to the occasion, and instead of you going to their level, they come up to your level, and those are the people you want on your team in life. Those are your ride or dies. Those are your fellow fit queens, okay? But it's so funny because take your parents, for example, right? Like, you know, we are a product of all of our parents' flaws and good qualities, right? We're a combination of the flaws and the great characteristics they have. We're a combination. And then as life goes on, we decide what we want to change and what we want to keep, right? So if your parents' job is to get you to be better off than them, how on earth could they guide you once you've reached their level? Is this making sense, ladies? But still, we hear them in the back of our head, guiding our actions, guiding our thoughts, right? What is that, WWJD? Mine's WWDD, what would dad do? That's in my mind, and that's something I have to reprogram in my mind. It's not what my dad would do. I don't care what my dad would do. I don't care if I disappoint him. I care if I disappoint myself. And then those people that love me will support me because I'm happy. But it might take a while for you to be happy. So they won't support you. They will think it's just a phase. They will think it's not going to last. And do you know why? Because it hasn't lasted for them. And they don't know how to make it last. So they don't think you're going to make it last. So that's exactly why you need to filter the advice you're getting from people, right? And question what you know. Question where you get your information from, right? And never just get it from one source, right? Because you have social media telling you things like this skinny tea helps you burn, this skinny coffee helps you burn fat, right? This cream dissolves cellulite. Like there's all these crazy claims that we want to believe because they sound so great. And if they were true, hallelujah, right? We want to believe all these claims, and sometimes these claims reach us in such a low state that we believe them, and we forget that we need to qualify this information. We need to ask, hey, what is behind this statement? Who made this statement? Who's telling me this statement? And why should I trust them? Right? Even me, guys, I'm not here. I don't want a community of sheep people. I don't want a community of sheeple followers, right? I want a community of women who think for themselves. And they can, take information from here, take information from here, and form their own educated opinion, right? That's what's wrong. That's a big problem in the world. We're so easily offended. We're not open to changing our opinions. Maybe you are wrong on a lot of things. Are you ready and open to hear that you're wrong? That's the first step. Are you ready and open to realize that maybe the information you've been fed is wrong? And are you ready and open to realize that the people in your life who you've been taking advice from for too long, maybe they're the ones that are holding you back? If you're somebody who's been stuck for a long time, if you're somebody who's been teetering back and forth, or was on the verge of giving up, or just accepting the body they have, if that's where you've been, then you got to look at your circle. You got to look at the information. You got to look, who are you listening to? Right? So it's so, so important that you qualify your information. Who's telling you this stuff, right? Like all these magazines you read, who's writing the articles in the magazines, guys? It even goes that deep. Because I've written a ton of articles in magazines before, and I'm qualified. But I know a lot of people who've also been asked to write articles, and they have no qualifications. The magazine just needed someone to fill an article space, right? So I want you guys to protect yourself. Who's wasted time trying to get healthy and it hasn't worked? Who's wasted time? Days, weeks, months, years. If you're on this call, you've wasted something. Now, who's wasted money? If you wasted time, time is money. So you've wasted lots of money because you're still not where you want to be. You shouldn't have to do that anymore. Okay? And I think as women, we need a reminder that it's okay to put yourself first. You need a reminder that it's okay not to, it's allowed to love somebody, but not listen to them. That's allowed. It's not disrespectful because you're respecting yourself. You're respecting your sacred mind. This is sacred. If somebody gets in here, if something gets in here, there's a crack and you'll fall apart. Protect it. Protect it. Okay? So it's okay to love somebody and not listen to somebody. It's okay to love and respect somebody, but say, please stop that. Or set a boundary or limit your exposure to them. That is okay. It's okay to be selfish, to learn how to be selfless. Because if you truly want to be selfless and you want to show up for your family, you want to show up for your kids, you want to show up for yourself, that begins by being selfish and knowing what you need. Because once you figure out what you need, game over. Life opens up, your relationships open up, your opportunities open up. You become a woman you never thought you could. But it all starts with accepting that you're going to have to audit your information. You're going to have to limit who you talk to, what you listen to. Okay? And an example, when I was just starting out my fitness journey, I was getting all my information from Instagram. Is anybody else along those lines? Like, you follow a million different Instagram influencers for workouts. They have a cute body that you want, so you follow them so for motivation, right? Like, we all have that. And that's what I did when I was starting out. And I would follow these. I followed, I don't know, maybe like 40 different women for inspiration. I thought looking at their bodies every day would excite me and motivate me and make me put down the piece of pizza. And I thought I could learn from them. And every time I opened up my Instagram, opened up that news feed, it was body after body after perfect body after perfect body after perfect life. And it did the opposite of what I thought it would do. I did the opposite of what I thought it'd do. It made me demotivated, right? Their lives look so easy. How they got that body, it seems so easy for them. Every day was perfect. They wake up when they want, they work out when they want, they always have a tan for some reason. Like, it just seemed like this fantasy world. And one day I realized, I'm like, this is not real life. Like, women, we go through fluctuations, we bloat, we PMS, we have real life bodies with uncomfortable things to talk about. And I decided one day, I unfollowed everybody. Everybody. I didn't accept one person. I unfollowed everybody because they were not doing me good. And you know why? They were getting up here. I let them crack up here. They slipped into my mind and they did damage. And I had to put my walls up and protect my mind. And then from that point, I was really picky about who I hung out with. I was really picky about who I listened to, right? The podcasts I chose to listen to, the magazine articles I chose to believe, not just read, but believe. Did I believe that opinion? What's it backed by, right? Because there's tons of crazy articles that float through Facebook all the time, right? And you have to really, really discern what you're going to allow to be the truth. Because once we've decided something is true, it becomes our identity. It becomes who we align ourselves with. And then as soon as we form an identity, as soon as we align ourselves with something, with a piece of knowledge or a characteristic trait, that is the second you begin to die. You put your growth on hold. If you cannot be fluid with who you are, change with information, shift opinions with information, develop character traits with different phases in life, if you're not fluid, you're going to be butting your own head every step of the way. Because when someone, if I meet someone in high school, I've recently connected with a couple people just to say, hey, they've reached out to me and they're like, you've changed. And I'm like, thank you. I want to change. I don't want to be the same. Because who is on this call is 100% happy with where they are at in life. Their body, their mind, their life, their relationships. Who is happy? Nobody is 100% happy. How do you get happy? Something needs to change. So stop fighting change. Stop butting heads. Be open to new opinions. Audit your information. Limit your circle. Set boundaries. Stop letting the opinions of unqualified people shape your actions and shape the way you think about yourself. Why does your aunt, when she calls you fat, why does that weigh so heavy on your mind? Why when your husband says something and pokes fun at your weight, why does that weigh so much on your mind? Why do you give everybody else no power or all the power and you leave yourself with no power? When you react to something, when you feel a certain way because of something somebody did or something somebody said, that means you don't have the power. That means something is true that you're uncomfortable with. And this is an opportunity to grow. Is this making sense, ladies? You really, really have to audit who's in your circle. Is anybody nervous about that? Is anybody uncomfortable telling people I need to set boundaries? Telling people I'm not going to go to that party? Telling people stop pressuring me to have an extra drink? Does that make anybody uncomfortable? Telling your husband, no, we're having this for dinner because I'm making it, instead of making 5 different meals for your husband and every kid. Is that uncomfortable? Is there a lot of uncomfortable conversations? Is there going to be a lot of collision? Sure. But guess what? Collision creates connection. Who's heard that before? The only way you deepen a connection with somebody is through colliding with them. You can't be hunky-dory and rainbows and kisses and flowers 24/7 in all of your relationships, acquaintances, best friends, in-laws, parents, significant other. You can't be happy and go lucky all the time because there's no opportunity to connect. There's no opportunity to have an emotional connection if everything goes good all the time. So if you guys remember, one of the biggest fights you've ever had in your life with a mom or significant other, we all remember that, like, a one really big fight that sticks in our mind. So think of that for a second, that one really, really big fight. That big, big fight. How much emotion was there? So much. How much were you feeling? So much. Now, whenever you feel that, there's 2 ways that situation can always go, right? And usually the best way is that you've let all your emotions out. You both can analyze those emotions, whoever you're having the fight with, and then you can talk through the emotions and find a solution. And then once you've let all your emotions out, you guys are stronger after the solution. That's what should be happening when you collide. That's the opportunity to grow. When you have a fight with your significant other, anytime I fight with Ryan or we have an argument, we become 10 times stronger because we've voiced our opinions, we've listened to them, and we've both appreciated and understood where the other person is coming from. And then we find a solution that we both agree on that will never make that thing pop up again. We connected. We didn't just make jokes and cuddle, right? We connected. We had real experiences, raw emotions, and we connected. So you need to have people in your life that are qualified and that you are willing to collide with, but not just collide. You are willing to collide and then connect. Follow through the collision to make that connection. And that's where we mess up. That's where we mess up, especially as women. We tend to do the silent treatment a lot, or we tend to be slightly passive aggressive for a while until we let things fade away, right? Who does that? Ursula, come on, be honest. I do it too sometimes. So you guys have to realize in the moment, and this is something that applies, everything we teach in Fit Queen doesn't just relate to fitness and health, right? Because your body is a symptom of your lifestyle. The way that you look is a symptom of your lifestyle and the way you make decisions and the way you view things, okay? Your body is a symptom, okay? So if we want to fix, we don't want to just fix the symptom, because we can fix the symptom temporarily, but the problem is still there, so the symptom will come back. So meaning you can lose weight and then you'll just gain it right back if you don't target the problem, right? So if you want to target that problem, in order to do that, and what that takes, it's going to improve every other area of your life. And the Academy Queens listening know that. You know that what you learn with the Fit Queen lifestyle, it fixes the problem. And then as a result of fixing the problem, all your symptoms go away. And the biggest one is your body changes, right? Because we go into this thinking that our body is the problem. The body is just a symptom, right? Not fitting into clothes is just a symptom. Not having energy is a symptom. Not having motivation to work out is a symptom. Having weak arms is a symptom. These are all symptoms of a problem. And we fix the problem. But you have to be willing to set boundaries in order to fix this problem. Because if what I'm saying is true, ladies, and you're truly, truly taking it in, this problem takes time. This problem has taken probably decades to manifest, right? Your bad habits haven't been around for just a week, right? They've been around for a while. In fact, you probably started developing them when you were children, right? And why is that? Because we are a combination of our parents' flaws, right? We're a combination. So check your eating habits when you were a kid. Similar to your parents? Yeah. Check your eating habits now. Similar to your parents? Probably still a little bit. And now we're kind of reconditioning that. So you really have to get, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay. And that begins with setting boundaries. Okay. Qualifying the people in your life. Why is this person in my life? Why would I want this person in my life? Why do I listen to them? Do they support me? Are they encouraging? Do they have any credentials that would give them knowledge to help me on my journey in different areas of life? Maybe not just necessarily pertaining to fitness and health, right? And then you need to act on that, because your mind is sacred. Your mind is sacred space. And if you let people get under your skin, if you let people convince you to believing that you deserve to treat yourself, that you are getting too skinny and you look unhealthy, if you're not living life and you're boring now, if you allow people to let you believe that, well, then they've won. And guess what? They're bringing you down to their level. And it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. Okay? So comment, guys, what is this resonating with you? Okay? After learning this, or after being reminded of this, what is one thing that you know you need to do going forward? Do you need to set boundaries? Do you need to speak up more? Okay? Is there a specific person in your life that you need to have a serious conversation with, that you need to collide with? And when you collide with them, are you willing to find that connection, or do you want to let them go? Big, big decision. So who do you need to collide with, ladies? Everybody's got one person in their life that they want to collide with, or that they need to collide with it. Who is that? Put it in the comments. Who do you need to collide with? Who do you need to set boundaries with? So who's that? Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Let's see. Let's see in the comments. Who's the person that you need to collide with? Friends. My daughter and her chips. Yep. Husband, mother, kids, siblings. And there it is. It's the family. It's the close people that are holding us back the most. What? Aren't they supposed to do the opposite? But they don't know any better. So you need to, guys, everybody who wrote something down here, everybody who thought of that person in their head, you need to collide with that person. If that person means something to you, and you want them to stay in your life, and most importantly, you want them to come on this journey with you, and you want to elevate them along this journey, you don't want to leave them behind, you need to collide. You need to set your boundaries, you need to qualify them, and you need to say, this is how it's going to be. You do not get to give. There's no compromise in your health. There's zero room for compromise in your health. Zero. Right? You can't. How can you be 80% healthy, but then you're not healthy? You can't take a break from being healthy. So you can't have people in your life who keep trying to make you take a break. So anybody in your life, it could be one person, it could be multiple people, it could be yourself you need to collide with, which on some level we all need to collide with ourselves. You need to collide, okay? So my challenge to you ladies, my challenge is set an appointment, make a date, write a letter, whatever you're gonna be most comfortable with first. And you gotta tell that person. Okay, so you have to figure out what you need from this person. What you need from this person, what they need to change, and why they need to change it. So this is what I don't like, this is why I don't like it, and this is what I need going forward. And anybody who loves you will say, okay. They may not be happy, you may get into a fight, you're colliding, but guess what? Once you create that connection on the other side, they're now on your side. They're now on your side, and you can take them with you instead of feeling sad that they get left behind. So my challenge to you guys, and take this serious. If you want to level up in life, if you want to level up in your health, if you want to level up on your weight loss journey and get somewhere and reach somewhere you never thought you could reach because you failed so many times before, you need to go actively find collision. Go collide with somebody this week, ladies. Call them, FaceTime them, sit down with them, write them a letter. Whatever you're going to be the most comfortable with. Set something up, make notes of what you're going to say so you don't lose the balls, and then do it. Okay? And you guys, you're going to be so nervous going up to it. So nervous. But you are going to have like this huge weight lifted off your shoulder. You're not having someone pulling you back on a rope. And you're struggling to move forward, and this person is pulling you back. And then guess what? You have that collision, they let go. And now you can sprint faster towards your goal. So important. So important. Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna do it? Who's ready? Let's see. Who's ready to have that conversation with that one person they know they need to the most? Kind of ready? Yep. Ready? You have to. I love it, ladies. Do it. Waiting and being afraid and being anxious. Those are the things that have gotten you in the life that you don't want right now. You're not living to your fullest potential. Waiting for a better time is what's got you here in the first place. Waiting doesn't get you anywhere. Okay? Letting anxiety win and talk you out of doing something is exactly why you're not where you are. Being afraid of confrontation is exactly why you're not where you want to be. Who's afraid of confrontation? Who gets quiet in a disagreement? Who's a people pleaser? Who's a people pleaser? A lot of people are people pleasers. But guess who that helps? Nobody. You're unhappy because you keep someone else's happiness above your own. And guess what? You're not helping the person you're trying to please. Because what would help them is if you can be the happiest version of you. Because when you can do that, you give them permission to go find their truest self. And if you're busy pleasing them and feeding into their ego, they're never going to grow. You're not allowing any collision to happen. You're just avoiding conflict. You don't want to have a fight. You don't want to have a blowout. But that's where the magic happens. Seriously, that is where the magic happens. And then you find your voice. You stick up for yourself. You know your truth. People can't persuade you or manipulate you. They can't take advantage of you because you're so nice. Who's been called, you're too nice? Who's said that to you before? You're too nice. You're too emotional. And you guys are like this concept, guys, this concept of collision causing connection is a very emotional one. Okay. I have done it so many times, like especially with Ryan, because Ryan and I are just life partners, we're business partners. We have a very different dynamic, and we don't have time. What's really cool about us is if we are fighting as a couple, we don't have time to let that bleed over into our business. We have people to help, right? If I came on here, like, would you know if I had, like, is my mood not constant all the time? I'm constantly up here because you need to be constantly up here. And I'm setting an example for you. I can't let someone else's collision interfere with my growth. I can't let someone else's ego interfere with my growth, right? Ryan and I collide all the time, but I don't let it affect me, okay? Because if I do, then it affects my business. And if my business does poorly, then that comes into my relationship, and then my relationship suffers. And then when my relationship suffers, I bring that back into my business, and it's a circle. It's a circle, right? If anybody has a job they hate, they come home and they bring that hate home, do they not? When you're tired and fed up from a long day, aren't you a little grumpy when you get home? Right? That's because you're giving power to something else. You are not having powerful conversations to clear the air. You are not setting expectations. You have no right to be mad or upset at anybody if you haven't voiced your opinion about the topic. You have no right. I have no right. I cannot get mad at you. I can't get upset at you if you do something, but I didn't tell you that I don't like that you do it. But we think that people can read our minds, right? We think, isn't it obvious you shouldn't do that? Don't you know why I'm mad? Right? We say that so much. You should know. You should know what you did, right? Don't we say that? But it's nobody's job to make you feel better except yourself. And how do you do that? You need to be voicing your opinion, even when it's uncomfortable to do so, even when someone doesn't want to hear it, even when you don't want to accept it. Okay, so it's super important, guys. You have to go searching for collision. That's the only way that you can keep the relationships in your life along this journey. Because you and me, we're going to collide. We're going to collide. Maybe we've already collided. But we're going to have deeper connections, right? There's people in your life who you collide with and who you're used to colliding with because you've practiced it. And it maybe was uncomfortable at first, right? Like the beginning of a relationship. But now you're comfortable with it. Right? So you only get comfortable with something the more that you do it, because the more that you do it, the more you know you can survive it. The more you know that it will turn out fine, that you're hyping it up in here when you shouldn't. Right? So ladies, if you're serious about not just treating the symptom, not just fixing your body, because guess what? There's programs out there that can do it. Cheap programs, $20 programs, $50 programs that will change your body. But that's all they do. If you just treat the symptom, the problem will always be there and the symptom will come back. It's like going to a doctor and saying, I'm chronically tired, and he prescribes you coffee. You fix the symptom, but the problem's still there. You're still not getting a restful night's sleep. How do you fix the problem? You collide. You have to collide. Collide with yourself, collide with the people you love the most, because they're the ones you want in your life the most. And if they connect after the collision, you know they're meant to stay. If they don't, that's a hint to you that you need to set strict boundaries going forward. Otherwise, you will be held back. Okay? So ladies, if you are serious about fixing the problem and not just treating the symptom is a bonus, and the symptom will be there. Okay? We're going to get you toned. We're going to get you low body fat percentage. You're going to be love walking around naked. You're going to want to go to a nude beach all the time. We'll get you there. But guess what? Where we're also getting you? We're fixing the fucking problem. For once. For once. We are targeting the problem. We are not making false promises. We're not saying, there's tons of programs out there that say, this is the last thing you ever need to try. This is the last time you're ever going to need to lose the weight. There's programs out there that say that all the time, but they're wrong. They don't have what we have. They haven't figured it out. We figured it out. we're not treating your symptom. Your symptom changes as a result of the coaching and the accountability and the tools that we're giving you along the way. And one of those tools is colliding. That's my little gift for you today. Collide. Don't avoid it. Don't avoid it because it's uncomfortable. Don't avoid it because you might get into a fight for a couple days and have someone give you the silent treatment, or someone shit talk you to their husband. Like, don't avoid it because there's just a couple negative side effects, because the positive side effects outweigh the negative if you give it time. You have to be brave enough to take the leap. So are you brave enough? I can't force you to do anything. So that's up to you, ladies. So I'm going to leave you with that call, okay, with that thought. Are you brave enough to do what needs to be done when it scares you, when it's uncomfortable, and when someone else's feelings might get hurt? Are you going to put yourself first? That's up for you to decide. For everybody who is ready, to get that collision going and create deeper connections and bring their loved ones along with them. Okay, I'm really looking forward to hearing how that went. Okay, so anybody who commented that they're ready to go talk to that one person that they know they have to talk to, if they're ready to collide with that one person, if you commented, you have to do that this week. So right now, when we get off this call, you have to decide who that person is, when you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it. And then jot some notes of what you want to say so you don't forget anything. Okay? Put it in your calendar. Make it a date so you can't talk yourself out of it. Because up until you press that call button, there's going to be a million times you're going to want to talk yourself out of it.